there won't be music for this one. Alright, Andy, take us into part 3.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Andy Schwartman, or Inside the Music with Andy Schwartman, part 3.
Who you got with you today, Andy? Who are these guys?
These guys, well, the guy talking is my buddy Senior Reek James. And these other two guys' names are Tony Kiefer and Matt Schlesinger. I know them all from a little record store that y'all may have heard of called Everybody's Records. Senior Reek and I.
Record stores, if I could. I'm wearing in honor of Seattle, I'm wearing my Easy Street Records shirt today. I figured
Nice.
it'd be a good choice.
Nice. Okay.
Flying the flannel.
Okay, then.
And your mention of Everybody's Records is a good segue for me because it'll take me right to what I wanted to lead this episode off with.
Okay.
That's this. Obviously, it was when Nevermind first exploded.
Yes.
Nirvana's second album, that Seattle grunge music phenomenon really started, launching all of these bands and many more into the limelight. Let's go to you, Tony. Now, what are your thoughts about Kurt Cobain and Nirvana? What was your personal perception of that whole thing as it was happening? Like, how old were you? Where were you at? What do you remember about that?
I was in high school, probably freshman, sophomore in high school. And again, I just remember one day on the radio, Smells Like Teen Spirit came on, and I was like, damn, you knew that was something. That was a force to be reckoned with. And, I remember getting that record for Christmas and loving that record. For me, the disconnect came seeing Kirk. I remember seeing them on Saturday Night Live, and it was the whole attitude. And I tried to say it before in the Pearl Jam segment. It didn't come across right. It wasn't so much the politics that lost me. It was the lack of. It appeared like a lack of interest or caring. Like the more success they got, the more tragic they seemed. It was just different. Being a guy that loved the big haired stuff or the band that celebrated it and put on a show, watching these guys seem like they hated every minute of it. That's where I kind of withdrew a little bit. I loved the music, but it was the tortured artist part of it that kind of maybe turned me off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think if you responded to like 70s hard rock and metal, that there was always going to be something for you in that Seattle scene.
Yeah.
There was a lot of the early Pearl Jam that kind of reminded me of Aerosmith. Some of the and Black Sabbath, of course. I wonder if there would have ever had been a Seattle scene if there was no Black Sabbath. But
you had Soundgarden open up for Guns N' Roses. You had Alice in Chains, very heavy band. You had Pearl Jam. It's nothing about the music at all. I love the music, and I'm glad I grew up with it.
Yeah.
It was just a disconnect of the attitude, I guess.
Yeah, they weren't interested in putting on a show or choreography or anything like that.
No.
Yeah.
We're actually gonna run out of time a lot sooner than I really wanted to tonight, so we might have to extend this and do it again in a week or so and do additional episodes about Seattle. I'm gonna jump ahead and just ask you guys all real quick, who is your favorite guitarist from the Seattle scene? Matt?
It's gotta be McCready. It's gotta be Mike McCready.
Yeah.
I think most innovative, although not my favorite, would be Hendrix, but
Sure.
being from Seattle?
Yeah, since we're talking specifically about that 90s grunge rock scene,
It's gotta be Mike.
Yeah. What about you, Tony?
I'd say Cantrell.
Yeah.
Something about those riffs and that, especially that Dirt record. I love Cantrell.
He's amazing. What about you, Andy?
I have to give, the two people that you said are amazing, but I have to give some credit where credit is due and go Donald Cobain.
Andy, who's your favorite vocalist to come out of that Seattle scene? Who do you think is the best?
Well, here of lately, it's been Lane Staley of Alice in Chains.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the reason why. This is absolutely nuts. So this one day I was at Everybody's. This was before COVID hit, right?
Yep.
I was at Everybody's, and I'm not making any of this crap up. All right. I was at Everybody's, and I had a copy of Alice in Chains' Greatest Hits album, right, and nothing
Yep.
else. Well, I explained this to Woody, and Woody goes, "What's wrong with you?" So the first thing he did was he put this album in my hand, right, and he goes,
Oh yeah.
"Take this home and listen to it, dude. It'll blow you away," something like that. So I'm like, okay, and I'm thinking, yeah, shut up, whatever, the typical crap, right?
I'm
Tony,
gonna tell
what
him you said that.
I put
Tony,
this sucker in my CD player, and boys, it changed.
Yeah.
It blew me away. It was like I texted him right back, and I went, "Oh my god, this is incredible," something like that. And he texted me back, "Told ya."
Tony, what about you? Who's your favorite vocalist to come out of that Seattle scene?
I love Lane, like you said, like when he was at his best, he was great. I think Cornell probably. I mean, the guy just had such a voice, and
Yeah.
I'd have to go Chris Cornell.
Matt, do I know your favorite?
Yeah, you do.
Close second for me, for sure.
There he is. Ed. Uncle Ed.
Right?
My buddy Mark, who co-wrote that 20 book with Pearl Jam and wrote that great book about Pete Townsend. Him and his sons call Eddie Vedder Uncle Ed. Eddie has really embraced. There it is. There's the book. Eddie's really embraced Mark's sons band. Mark's two sons are in White Reaper, and they're phenomenal. And apparently, Eddie has really kind of taken them under his wing. But we are.
Rick, may I please throw something else in here too?
Yeah, but the
I have a
clock's
copy
ticking, man. You got to keep it brief because we're down to our last 5 minutes.
I have a copy of a book that deals with Kurt Cobain that
Yeah.
I want to show real quick.
Do it.
Heavier Than Heaven by Charles R. Cross.
I've heard that's
Haven't read
great.
all of it yet, but I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah. I've heard that's really good.
Cool.
What about books and other like reading material on that scene? Do you guys have anything to recommend, Tony or Matt?
And I can't remember who wrote it, but it's Mudhoney lyric, and it's called "Everybody Loves Our Town." And I can't remember who wrote it.
Yeah.
But that exists.
I don't know about the books. I know there's some great documentaries. The Pearl Jam 20 documentary was.
I saw that. That was good.
The Cobain documentary was very weird. I don't know if you guys saw that one. That was a weird
montage of heck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little weird, but definitely shed some light on Kurt.
Yeah.
I'll mention a couple quick things real quick here, and then I'm going to ask you guys one more question before we run out of time. We got about 4 minutes left here. I just wanted to share with you guys something I thought was kind of funny. When I was working at Wizard Records in the late 80s, and we got shipments directly from Sub Pop, and at one time, the shipments from Sub Pop, instead of packing pellets, they had cassettes of Bleach. So the first Nirvana album, they were just throwing tons of cassette copies out there. To this day, I think it's how they promoted that record. Just like they just flooded the market, like every independent record store that ordered directly from Sub Pop, you'd get 30 or 40 Bleach cassettes, no case, no J card, and just a black cassette, And I saw Nirvana when they were touring on that Bleach tour. You guys familiar with Murphy's Pub in Clifton? I can't remember the date. I want to say it was October of 1990. I'm not sure about.
I'll look it up. They'll let you know.
And I'll tell you what, my Pearl Jam story, I'll save that for another time and ask you guys now, because I know I asked you to keep some albums and CDs handy. I want to say, lastly, if you had to pick just one, what is your favorite album by a band from the Seattle grunge rock scene of the 90s? For me, my criteria is which one do I listen to the most? Like, what is far and away the one that I play more than any other?
You're going to think I'm nuts?
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I have a little story that I have a little connection with Nevermind.
You have 2 minutes, Andy. Keep it really brief.
Okay. I have a buddy whose name is Mike Laban. I've known him since I was an infant. And his mom and my mom went to college together. No joke. And I remember him playing that album for me when I was 4 years old. All right. And him saying, dude, there is this brand new record by this up and coming band out of Seattle. And I thought it was Pearl Jam. And he said, no, it's called Nirvana.
Yeah.
And this album was called Nevermind. Check it out.
That
And he
record
played
came
me
out.
Smells Like Teen Spirit, and boys, the rest is history.
That came out when I was working at Everybody's in 91 and
Nice.
or 92 it might have been, I don't remember. But
91.
As soon as it came out, we were listening to it in the store. You just knew.
Yeah.
You just knew. Like, oh, everybody already knew Bleach. It was incredible. And then Nevermind, you just felt it. It took it to another level.
Yeah.
Matt, your all-time favorite album by a Seattle band?
No Code has always been my go-to, being the one that introduced me. But as far as most played, it's going to be Yield, the follow-up from No Code, 1998.
Okay.
Tony, what about you?
I don't have a copy of it here with me. I think this falls in the criteria. A record called Sweet Oblivion by the Screaming Trees.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would fit into the category. That was the one of many records. But that one there, I love that record. And I don't think it ever really got, that band ever got really what it was due. But love that record.
Great album. I'm going to give a shout out for Satchel, my boy Sean Smith, the late great Sean Smith. I think Brad came before Satchel. Is that right? That was a Stone Gossard side project called Brad. And
yes.
Then they did the Satchel record. And then I think after a while, Sean, who I had the good fortune to hang out with a couple times when they were still around, I think eventually that he just considered them one band. But here's my top dog favorite. I listened to this more than any other Seattle band album. Every track, all killer, no filler. I just love that record.
Good
so
choice.
Now we're running out of time. Andy, let's wrap it up and say thank you, Matt and Tony, for being with us.
Thank you, Matt and Tony, for being on these episodes with us.